Am I live? I think I'm live. We are live! Yay! And my light is terrible. I gotta turn it down. Fuck's sake. One day when I'm a YouTube star, I will get the right equipment. But I'm not. So you get what you see. Alrighty. Shannon, did you finish your din din? What did you have? So, yeah, I thought I'm going live again. I haven't been live forever. Delaney! Chili dogs. But that sounds delicious. Yucky delicious. I like yucky. Sometimes you gotta have that, you know what I mean? So, yeah, as I said, I wasn't live for a while. I was just uploading because I thought it's easier to listen to when I explain the runes. But then, you know, I miss my chat room. So, shiny. Yeah. It's my light. It's really bad. Hey, Pyramid! Yo! So, yeah. Let's see how I get everything together with the rune. If I get squirrely again. And this is water, I'm just saying. Seriously. Anna! There she is. I wait a bit. Wait a bit for what? For me getting drunk or what? I'm not getting drunk. Hey, Jenny. So, yeah. I try that today. But I made my notes. I always do, so I don't forget half of it. Because I like to do that. I mean, if I work with runes, I know what to think of and what not, right? Or I work with, with Odin and get my messages. Hi, Christine. Nice to see you here. Yeah, but I have to make my notes so everybody knows what's important with it, right? Because everybody knows I'm a pain in the ass and I need it always 100%. I can't help it. I have to do that. Hello, Hans. Hey, that's nice of you. Thanks for stopping by. Now you're going to see me really messing up words. Hi, Edwin. So, today I want to talk about the rune Gebo, or called Gifu. Runes have different names because the ones are Nordic, the other ones are Anglo-Saxon language, right? So, but Gebo and the Gifu are the most common to use. So, Gebo, that means the gift. So this could be the gift that you receive, that you give to someone else, or it could be the gift that you carry inside of you, right? And the nice thing about this rune is no matter how you turn it around, it stays the same. So it can't really change. There is really no negative aspect to that rune. I mean, it can give you a warning depending on what you do with it. But like really, it's really a beautiful rune and you can turn it around. And the X is also, if you look at it, it's like the multiplication sign, which actually goes back to this rune, if I think about it, because whatever you give out, you receive back, many times. So yeah. So let's start. Yeah, and I also like to talk about the deities. So with this rune goes Freya. I talked about her before, the goddess of fertility. This is also because Gebo is a rune of partnership, right? Of couples. I mean, not only the rune of partnership, but also it's included in this one. It could also be partnership in life with friends, siblings, and whatever. So, and also Odin. I think I talked about him enough before. And the tree that goes with this is the elm tree. And then I got the wild violet flower as a herb. I really hope I translated the herb name right, because it could also be the hearts. Wait, I wrote it down. Here we go. I need to write down the hearts. I'm always heart's ease. Yeah. So, but it's kind of like a wild violet. It looks like a violet, but it's not. So heart's ease. That was the English name for it. So, gotta flip my notes. So, what the rune, hey IOX. So what the rune wants to show us, if we pull it, there are many aspects. And as I say, I can only give you examples because only you have your question that you need the answer to, right? So, and so you need to know what resonates with you for this rune. And also, it's always important, if you work with runes, like I said before, and I like to repeat myself, always listen to your inner self as well, to your higher self, because you might receive your own special message, right? So, and also the filia, the spirit animal, is the owl that goes with it. So I almost forgot about that, but I'm squirreling because I'm live and I need to do that. It's an old tradition. So the rune shows you the gift that you're going to receive, the harmony, connection, balances, unions, partnerships, but it can also warn you about unhealthy isolation. I mean, I'm a hermit too, absolutely. But once in a while I push my out into the social life world, because it just gets too unhealthy if we're only by ourselves, I find. So, and I have to admit that to myself too. So, because you can get disconnected from things, right? If you hermit the wrong way, in an unhealthy way. It can also tell you that you are too greedy, maybe, or people are asking too much of you, right? And it depends always on your question. So, but those are the main characters of this rune. So what the rune calls for is to leave enough space between things, between each of us, so that the winds, I say, the winds of creation, of spirit, can fly and evolve and grow. So especially in partnerships, I find like you need to leave someone some freedom, and freedom is the highest gift we can give ourselves in any aspect, in spiritual way, in our everyday life. So, and this is also the highest gift we can give to others, right? So, let me read a bit of my note here. So, just so I don't scramble away because I feel it coming already. So, I mentioned that before that the principle of Gebo is it includes the return, right? That results from a gift. So, gifts are not just attentions, but initiate a social bond. So, the Gebo rune is about connection, and especially about the connection between humans. So, when this rune shows up, it tells you actually, like, depending on the question again, it can tell you, okay, so far this has been a lonely journey, and I don't mean lonely in a negative way at all. I mean lonely that we did what we had to do, that we learned what we had to do, that we released what we had to do, but this has finally come to an end. So, and this rune represents the places where you interact with others and allows a form of conscious relationship with others. So, and those relationships, they are all about the exchange of gifts. It's always about gifts. It's about how you act with others, right? How you interact with others. It's a gift of kindness you give out, a laughter, a hug, you know. And I mean, if you're not in a good mood, you might give the gift of bitching, but always keep in mind that you receive the gift that you give out, the exchange. Always keep that in mind. Yeah, and I'm the one to say I can bitch like a construction worker. So also this sign of a gift is like an old ritual that goes back many ways, right? Many years, hundreds of years, like especially in feudalism, like they gave away land and tied the inhabitants to themselves. So, and in return, the donor had to protect the country in case of war. So, which I don't want to really get into. I don't really agree with that, right? But that's a different story right now. So, so just saying, and it's an old theory. It's just a theory of mine. I'm not saying it's proven. So, but listening to that, if I find notes like that, it just tells me how many hundreds of years this is going on, that we are actually thinking we are receiving a gift, which is not. And in return, there is actually war if you want to see it like this, right? So you have to be careful with what you give out. So another theory of mine is that I talked with someone about many years ago, that maybe even the shepherds were part of it because they started separating the land, right? This is my land. My animals will feed here, and don't you dare bring your cow over here. But just a theory, just throwing that in. Okay, let's go back. Hey, Ducky. Michael. Sorry if I haven't seen anyone yet because I'm trying to stick to the program. So, but also the ring between lovers is a connection through a gift, right? The gift of love, like I just mentioned. So, and gifts to the gods are pretty much the same. Like I said, just to throw that in here, I don't worship at all. I never have, and I never fucking will. So, but I strongly believe in them. And if you treat them with respect, you get treated with respect, right? If, like I said, I work on a spiritual way with Odin, and so let's say if you do something good, the gods or the universe or whatever you want to call it, what you feel comfortable with, will reward you with a gift, right? You give your gift of whatever you're doing good that helps. I mean, it doesn't have to help the world, but I mean, one alone can't do it, but everyday action helps. You know, whenever you help another person or you make another person smile, it's a good gift. It's a good one. You know, you change something, even not knowing you changed something. Smiling at the cashier, you know, might help because he might have a shitty day. And in return, you make him happy or he smiles back at you. So, and that's how it works with the universe, with the spirits, with the gods. You know, you will get your rewards, even sometimes you can't see it, but don't overdo it there because they will know when it's faked. I mean, don't go there and say, okay, I got to be nice to everyone now, so I'm going to get everything I need. Yeah, no, that's not how it works. It has to come from your heart, right? That's the main point. It really has to come from your heart. So, and also important is not to expect anything in return. That's another one. I know that's a lot, and it's not easy sometimes to follow through with it. You know, how can I say that? Let's say, just an example, you've always been there for, I don't know, your cousin, always, or your brother, or whoever, just an example. You've always been there. You picked up the phone at night. You helped them out with money. You bent backwards, you know, for them. And then you ask them to, oh, can you give me a ride to the supermarket? My car broke down, and they will not do it. You know, it's hard. I know it's hard to say, well, great, thanks. You know, I got up in the middle of the night whenever you called me, and you can't give me a ride to the far to the supermarket. I mean, just an example so you understand what I'm saying. So don't expect it. Whatever you do, don't expect anything back ever, because that will just stop the flow. Yeah, right, Edwin. I mean, even though there has to be an exchange, I'm getting to that. I mean, and I just said it, there has to be a flow, there has to be an exchange, but I'm getting a little deeper in that a bit. So, also, that note I found that very interesting because I haven't even paid attention to that. So, the rune, the Gebo rune, is characterized by the crossing of two bars as a structure. In those half-timbered houses, like. And the rules does not apply to the bedroom. I so agree. I so agree. Okay. Okay. Okay, that is the exception. Absolutely. That's too funny. What was I? um, I don't know if you all have seen those half-timbered houses. And mostly of them, they have the two bars crossing. It's actually like to give the house a little structure. But again, if you look at it from a static point and then from the Gebo, so it's a multiplication sign of the x, as I said, and a symbol for increase in interrelation between two forces. So that's kind of interesting. So it gives the house hold with it. What, Michael? I throw rules out the window. And here we go again. I knew it. One had to start it. I tried so hard. Oh, you guys cracked me up. I love it. So here a little bit about the rune itself. Shannon, my safe word is keep going. Oh, hey Cynthia. I haven't seen you. Sorry, have you been in here for long? We're sharing bedroom stories. I don't have any. I have my crystal. So Gebo is the first of 5 runes that we found in the Furthag that are not reversible, as I mentioned before. So what it says also is that everything, I mentioned that before, everything that we send back will come back to us, right? But also there is kind of not a negative, but you got to be careful. Like some might not be ready to receive a gift, right? So even if you mean well on someone, or if you wish well on someone, depending on what it is, it might harm the other person because the other person might not be ready for it. So this is in that's why we sometimes have to take it slow, especially me. I so include myself as well. Like I never take myself out of this. I'm learning too, still every day. Other than that, I wouldn't be sitting here. How can I explain that? Yeah, like I said, they might not be ready for it, right? You might tell, like it's the same. How can I explain that? Shoot. Yeah, let's say energy work, for example. I do energy work, right? We all do energy work. A lot of us do energy work. So the person really has to come to yourself. And I did that too. Hey, you want energy work? I think you need energy work. Hey, how about we do some energy work? I'm sure I can help you with if I loosen some blockages. I'm absolutely sure. So I used to do that too. I'm not doing that anymore. I mention it, but then the person has to come to myself, to me. I can't talk. Sorry, to me, because I might be pushing, and then the person finally, oh yeah, sounds cool. But then you open blockages, and the person might not be ready for blockages to open. Do I make sense? And I'm not Hans. No, it's all good. Interrupt. This is great. We always do that. Yeah, and I'm not talking about you, Edwin, or something, because you do energy work, right? You know that. I'm just trying to give an example here. So the same with tarot cards, right? Some are ready to listen to tarot cards, some are not, because it's all energy work, right? yeah. So, and that's why I always say with the runes that I prefer if people do their own runes, because then you connect. And once you connect with the runes, you know you're ready, right? Because then that's why it's important for me that I introduce every rune very, very anal. I'm not talking about that anal. I'm just saying I'm talking about 100% that everybody understands a rune. And yeah. So once you start understanding, then you're ready to make your own rune set and you can connect with the runes. So, but again, those are just examples. This goes in every aspect of life. So, yeah, also, like the rune is also a warning for, like, it has a shadow side, right? So, again, you have to be sure you know and understand the runes. You can use that rune as a protection rune to send back curses. So, but be sure it is really a curse or a bad intention of a person, because the moment you send it off, you will receive it back. So make sure you're really aware when you use this. So, or even if you use that rune for cursing or bad intention on people, just keep in mind the gift will come back. And I mean, I highly recommend anyways, anytime, not to misuse the runes for any shenanigans, because it doesn't really matter what kind of rune it is, they will bite you in the ass. And I can only repeat that not often enough, really. And if I find out that one day anyone will misuse them, I'm gonna spit fire. And I'm not talking community wise, not getting that wrong. I mean, in general, if I would ever catch someone, then I probably would be the gift that returns. No, I'm just kidding, but yeah, I cannot say it enough how powerful they are. So, and then the message has a rune as well. The rune has a message. I'm not drunk. I'm really drinking water. I swear. So, the message is, one is generous and gives because he recognizes the true value of a person. So if I really like someone, I want that person to be feeling well, right? I want this person to have a good life. I want this person to be loved. Our children, for example, right? And also other things. Homeless. Shit, what is it with me? I can't talk today. It's extremely bad. Is there a herb for it? I have to look. What? Yeah, no, I cannot get drunk on water. Right, Edwin? So one is generous and gives because he recognized the true value of a person. And as I said, that could be anyone, right? Even if you walk down the street and you see a homeless and you just happen to have a cup of coffee that you just bought, if you give that to him, that's like an exchange as well. So experience the ecstasy and generosity of it. So, and don't cling on to anything, not even the material. Like, because the more you cling on to it, Is it the material? Is it to a person? The flow will get blocked. It creates a kind of energy, right? Especially like you're constantly up a person's yin yang. You always want that person close. At one point, that person tries to pull away, right? And on the material level, the more we think about money, 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 money. And I know a lot of us have money issues right now. And I think that is one of the problems. I mean, I'm just trying to think myself, why? And I think this is one of the issues. We hang on so much to this freaking programmed, we have to make money, we have to spend money, and I don't want an upgrade on my computer right now, thank you. So yeah, and I think that's the same. It totally blocks. Like we're clinging on so much to that what that was programmed to us. Yeah, that we create the same reaction. And so I think if we let go a bit, like saying, I don't need that car, I'm good with mine. Or, hey, I have food in the fridge. That's good for a few days. I don't need to go and buy this and this. You know what I mean? Just little things. And that can help so much. Like if we really let go, I mean, we will be provided for if we really give into that Gebo energy in general, like the give and take, if we let the energy flow. I hope I make any sense at all. So, but this also includes to give ourselves, right? So that we can receive the divine gifts. So, and this includes loving yourself, being good to yourself, and I'm again the one to speak about it. Woo! Like, so I mean, I have always something to complain about myself. Not doing enough, or if I lay down a day, oh God, I was lazy. And, to get out of this programming that you have to do something every day, that you have to be productive, or it's not good. And it's bullshit. I mean, everybody can take a rest, and I think everyone is beautiful, right? So, and also I wrote, there's something written in the Havama. The friend shall give friendship to the friend, and give with a gift, with mockery. The hero shall, I can't read that word, I can't read the word, shit. Reciprocate and blatant with falsehood. So be always true to yourself. And also, the promise of prospect of a payment creates a false need. This need creates pressure. Time starts running faster than one controls. Hamster wheel. Yeah, Hans. I totally agree. That's what I mean. And that's like in right in our daily world everywhere. Is it the job, or is it the bills that we have to pay? Like, I mean, nothing will happen if you pay your bill a bit later, or, I mean, nothing happened to me yet, There's always a way. So it's always this hamster wheel, like you said, Hans. So, and also the Rune Gebo can tell you that a gift awaits you, and if you had a specific question about something, the decision is up to you if you want to receive that gift, right? So again, that could be a friendship, that could be money from someone, it could be someone that is in love with you, offers you his love or her love, and it's up to you to decide if you want to receive. So yeah, so everything has its price, but I mean, like, um but I mean that in a way of give and receive price. And but right, Anna? Yeah. And um yeah, like, but a spiritual gift, for example, right? That's worth the price. Like, um you can only win, I find, if you use it correct, and if you use it with a true heart, with good intention, then the price is can only be good, my opinion. Right, Edwin? Work for yourself and help everyone you can, and don't be afraid to ask for help. Yeah, that's on point. So, as I said, to receive a gift, you must give. When they give, you must be ready to receive. And this is what I said before. Sometimes, for example, sometimes me, I take me as an example. Um, it's like, I would like someone in my life, would be nice, right? I mean, I'm happy by myself, honestly, but still it would be nice. So, but I know exactly I would not be ready to receive of what happened to me in the past, right? I mean, maybe when the time comes, if I get the offer of this gift, I might be ready. But I'm just saying, like, you might not be ready due to hurts, whatever happened to you in the past. You might not be ready to accept a new job because um, the last job stressed you out so bad that you don't want the new job. Um, you're not ready to trust people for whatever reason. You're not ready to receive the gift. Yeah, I make sense, I hope. Yeah, I'm always trying to give some examples, but I hope I find some. So, um, and that cycle should never be interrupted, right? Whoever takes without giving on the physical or mental level loses his spiritual gift. When they go the spiritual path, they must humble accept the gift. Remember that they lose a spiritual gift when they abuse it. So, coming back to partnerships, because this is a partnership rune, um, or human interference. Uh, example. Friendship. You can't stand the person. You cannot. But yet that person loves you and offers you its friendship. And you pretend being a friend. You pretend accepting that gift. That's an interruption of the circle. And by the way, very dirty. Needless, if ruin or not ruin. But you know what I mean, right? Or partnerships. You're staying um, in a partnership even though you don't love that partner anymore. So, and even though this partner loves you, when you're just staying because you feel sorry or feel bad, wrong, right? That's an interruption of that circle. So, and every time you do stuff like that, you lose a bit of yourself, of your inner true self. It gets dark again. The light we all talk about, it will dim and dim and dim. And you will so go back to below 3D. I don't know if there's anything below 3D. I'm just saying. Compassionate is like to share love with each other, right? And understanding each other from the heart. So, and every human being has a gift, and I said that before, and I'm very convinced about it. We just have to find it, and anyone who knows them can use them. Again, use them with a good heart and good intentions. So, and as I said before, it's a give and take, but it's also wrong to give everything. You cannot bribe the universe, as I said before. And the rune teaches us to share and make sacrifices. So it's not only about the material stuff, it's also about the exchange of knowledge, right? So what we all do, everything that we know, we share, right? The one knows about crystals, like Anna talks about crystals and the Mayan. Sue does her frequency readings. Desert Rose wants to do her past life readings, which she should share, not to interrupt the circle. And so, you know what I mean? So we all share our knowledge for the good of others. So you can also wear the rune as an amulet. So, of course, and yep, especially when you're standing at the cash register and have a good laugh, right? That's a good one. Yeah, I like that. The amulet, you can wear the rune as an amulet. So you can use it to attract love. And you can also help it to protect you if people are constantly after your money and have no right to, you know. Oh, Shannon, I'm a good receiver. Sorry. Okay, the rune also has helps on the physical point. So it can help you, Celtic girl, receiver too. Ain't nothing wrong about receiving. So if you have any physical issues, the rune can help for the following. So it's good for poisoning, like for toxics in your body, for strengthening your inner center and harmonizing sexual currents. So the rune dissolves blockages, releases the flow of energy. And when the feminine and masculine energies magically connect, you never reach the achievable realities unless they're guided by the will, right? So that's why I find, for example, those one night stands, right? That's not really, a giving and taking. It's mostly a taking on both ends, if you know what I mean. Just an example just came to me. So, but also like female and energies, I mean, your inner female. Are you gonna go laugh in the bathroom, Hans? Please keep us enlightened. How did it go? Yeah. He's taking us with him. I always go take a bath with you guys. It's always pretty crowded. Mm. Sue. Oh my God, I almost choked. Hi, Violet. Oh, are we in the gutter again? This is beautiful. Right? You okay, Hans? Okay, where was I? The female and male energy. So I'm talking about the energies in us. We all have a female and male energy. So it helps us to balance that out a bit. So now we come to the magical usage of Gebo. For risks and side effects, please ask your local shaman or witch. So I'm just going to read my notes. Thank you, Judith. Okay, I'm just going to read that because it's important. So, you can use the Gebo to unite with higher beings, but you can also use the Gebo to bring back together broken up spouses if both are willing, and if the cut is not too deep, if there was no damage done, if there was misunderstanding. Be sure that this is wanted from both ends, because as I said before, never try to influence the will of another person. And as I said before, you can use this rune to gain back balances and harmony. As a binding rune, it's to balance the opposite rune energy. So, but as said before, if you use this for curse fighting, or if you use anything like it, and I'm not going to tell you what kind of binding rune, because I'm not talking about binding rune, and I don't want to talk about that kind of binding rune because I don't know who else is watching. So I'm not talking about people in our community. I'm talking about public, right? Remember, the risk is high that the gift comes back. Gebo is also related to ecstasy, be it the ecstasy that comes from being together, or the Gnostic energy of a ritual. So the ecstasy itself harmonizes, right? That this is when the energy really flows. Hey, Hans, are you okay in there? Knock, knock. Can anyone go and knock and see if Hans is okay? So, and if Gebo is used to harmonize and unite two opposite forces within, a third will emerge from it. So you can use this rune as a soul medicine to release tension and turn it into creative energy. So, hey, how are you doing, Marty? So what I mean by that is not only couples and having a baby, the third party. I'm talking about if your energies are balanced, the male and female, you're more creative. So if you're out of balance, you know yourself, you're not creative in any way, in no way. I'm glad you came. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was really not on anyone's channels lately, and I really have to admit that. I mean, I go and but it's like I was so busy at work, and then at night, yeah, I don't have much time left, but it was really busy. So I'm sorry. So, yeah, Gebo also stands for the mystery of the psychic union of two or more people in order to produce a creative power. So that's what I just mentioned. So this is also the rune of the sexual magic, right? In ancient Germanic times, sexual magic was practiced especially for obtaining divine knowledge and divine wisdom. So, Gebo stands for the sexual life force used in fertility magic and shamanic practice. So, and most of us have heard, and I've talked about my last rune that was all about the sexual energy. And it's so important that it flows. If this doesn't flow, nothing else flows because it's the creativity in all aspects of life. I mean, it's a sacral chakra. And as I always said, if the root or sacral chakra are not flowing, or if they are blocked, nothing else will flow. It's just a fact. Or if everything else flows and you just have that blocked, which I find is rare because it starts from below. Yeah, you might want to take a look in it, why it is blocked or why what's going on, if you are ready for it, right? Cynthia, Hans disappeared. So, would you be interested in a little mythology about it? Since, ouch, regarding Odin. So, where the, okay, one says yes, two says yes, three says yes, 4-1, 4-2, 4-3, sold. Okay. So, but this I didn't write down. This I didn't make up, right? This is not my note. I'm just taking this out of the Norse mythology. So the trio of gods, Odin, Willi, also called Hernia, and Ve, which we know as Loki, animated the wooden first humans Ask and Embla. And since that time, men repay the gods this gift through loyalty and sacrifice, which in turn sets a gift of the gods in motion and thus unfolds a continuous cycle between humans and gods. Having revived the first humans, the gods built Asgard, the home of the gods, which communicates with the world of man, Midgard, and exchange. This exchange takes place over the rainbow bridge Bifrost, which represents the bridge between Asgard and Midgard. In this way, the energy and gifts of the gods come to earth. This fair exchange creates stability. In order to achieve a balanced life, it is important to settle and clarify the conflicts among people immediately. An unexplained conflict otherwise acts like a creeping poison and destroys the power of Gebo. I would have a few examples, but I'm biting my tongue. Gebo also stands for the 4 cardinal points and the 4 elements and the resulting from their forces, energy, stability on earth. The sacrificial rites were the center of the Germanic religion. They represented an initiation that allowed the connection to the gods. The Teuton did not sacrifice out of fear, but out of gratitude, in symbolically maintaining the natural balance for received and desired gifts. Gebo is the rune of the gift of the gods to human, vice versa. So, of course, the first part was from the Edda. So, I just like the Edda. That's my Bible, right? So, I like it. So, some more notes not made by me. A relationship of giving prevails between men and gods. Of giving and receiving prevails between men and gods. Between man and nature. He who does not give will not be given. He will emerge from such an important exchange, withdrawing from any action and development in the world. The Gebo principle is fully expressed in this interdependence of giving and receiving. One lives by his gods, and they live by the humans. The human being who enters into this interrelation becomes part of the divine and experiences the gifts of the gods in all their wealth and fascination. Those who open themselves and make themselves a gift to the gods receive the infinite wealth of the Germanic heritage in return. Doesn't have to be Germanic. In return, and the obligation to cultivate and pass on this heritage. The gods are dead as long as you do not believe in them. So, and I think what they were saying with that the gods are dead as long as you do not believe in them. That's your higher self. You're right. The universe. So, and so, like, if someone doesn't believe in you, you will like fade away. You know, if people don't see you, if no one sees you, if no one shows you any appreciation, I love you, or if people just don't want to see you, don't want to be with you, you start fading away, right? You know what I mean? And that's what I mean. It's an exchange between the universe and us. For me, it's Odin and the other Nordic gods. For you, whatever you choose, your angels or whatever, you know, whatever you pick that you are comfortable with. And this is also like, this is for me, right? When I read in the Edda about Ragnarok that we are in already, in my opinion, it said that Odin will die, and I don't see him die, but in a way of like he get killed at the end. But I see it as a way, once people stop believing in him, he will lose his strength. So yeah, and that's why, thank you, Celtic girl. Yeah, and that's why it's so important that we all believe in each other, that we support each other, show respect to each other. I mean, we might not like each other, but at least be respectful with each other, you know? And I'm not saying here, community, we don't like each other. I mean, in general, okay? This is always in general. Like, there's always someone that you are not, you know, green with, like, meh, you know, I don't care too much, but you can still respect this person. You can still see this person. So, yeah, if one finds one faith in one another with one's faith in oneself, they will gain infinite strength with every single person who turns to them. So, yeah, this is just what I just said. So, also what I found interesting, the human chromosome with its two chromatids of female and male origin has the form of the Gebo rune. In the sexual relationship between man and woman, the reciprocal relationship of giving and receiving also works. In this alliance, both merge into a creative whole. Without what one gives, the other is incomplete. The Teutons knew about this mystery. This is why the Teuton saw his wives as equal to him, so the Celts. Um, they valued uh, the feminine, intuitive brain power, the create. Oh my God, I can't talk and read today. Holy shit. And her life giving love ability as the highest values, and was aware of the fact that together they are part of the sacred life cycle. In the Germanic society, the woman had a firm place as a mother, guardian of the clan, healer, down to earth seeress, and priestess, and enjoyed in her functions high reputation. She was the Germanic man comrade in all life situations, if need be, even with the weapon in her hand, which is true. In Germanic mythology, she appears wise and knowing. Only through them did the man become a hero king, and even the rise and fall of an entire empire depended on the right connection between man and woman. The Valkyries also chose the hero and chose the king. The southern disregard and humiliation of the feminine only came in, with the world of the Christianity. So, culminating in the systematic extermination of knowing women by the Inquisition, right? So, they, Shannon, I might like that. How about that? Hi, Hans, you're back. You got us worried a bit. You know, we started to send a search troop for you. So, what I mean with this, I mean, and even today we still have that. There's a saying that a man is only as strong as the woman behind him. But of course, it's not all about the woman, it's also about the man. Like, it's the connection of this energy. If the man doesn't give a shit about what the woman says, then it doesn't help. And if the woman doesn't give a shit about the well being of the man, then it won't work either. So you get my point, right? And that's how they, how they fought their battles as well. Hi, Ian. Yep, they got to be a balance. Ian. So, that was pretty much it about the rune. I mean, I'm having the herb still coming if you're interested. I'm going to make it fast because I know I've been on for an hour already. I don't want to bore you. But I hope you understand a bit the principle of giving and taking and receiving, and how to use a rune, how to work with it, what the message could be if you pull it as a daily rune or if you have a question. Once I'm done introducing all the runes, I will also start explaining some steps how you can draw runes. I go a little more specific in that. So, and I still have to explain the Aetia, the first, second, and third. Shoot. You see, that's what I mean. It's like with a full-time job, right? So I got to get to it because it's important. Okay, let's get to the heart's ease, the wild violet, how I call it. So why it works so well with the Gebo rune is that the spirit of the plant gives you comfort and joy. And it also, if it smudges, if you're angry, it helps you with forgiveness, which is important too, to receive again, as I mentioned before, and also to let go. So I said before, once you forgive and let go, you can receive, right? So so it's a sweet little plant. Oh, thank you, Edwin. Hey, Quad. Sorry, I haven't seen you coming in. So yeah, she's really cute, that little flower. I mean, that little herb. And also on a physical level, a very good little helper. I wrote down a few points. So it's antibacterial, it's a blood purifier, it's anti-inflammatory, diuretic, um, it's for cough, like if you have a dry cough, and you need to let it go a bit, it will help you. It's for asthma, bronchitis, or even for the whooping cough, like for children, for heart problems, but again, for mild ones, like if you get nervous fast, your heart beats too fast because you're angry, matches to the spirit of the plant. It can calm you down a bit. And again, and please, 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 if you have serious heart issues like chest pain, arm pain, whatever pain, go see a doctor. Don't muck around with any herbs. See a doctor if it's serious. So it also helps with constipation. Hans, if I would have known that before, then it's good for colics, bladder grease, that the one that turns out quick into stones. Hey, Andrew. Kidney weakness. So cute little plant. Nervousness, insomnia. I believe it was even for gout. Yeah, for gout. Cradle cap, like you can make a little tincture. Of course, not with alcohol for a baby, but for the cradle cap that babies have, if you take a bit of that tea, that you make of the plant, and it will help loosen the cradle cap a bit. Or even for acne, rashes. So really little. And you can use everything, the leaves, the roots, the flowers. You can make a tea of it. You can make the tincture of it, or you can make an oil out of it. But if you make a tea out of it, don't drink more than 2 cups a day, because it might make you vomit of the saponins in there. So they're very strong, and other ingredients that I still wanted to make a video too about, to make it understand better. I mean, I know I talked about the ingredients of the supplements of plants, but I wanted to do it as a little presentation to read, so that's easier to look up. What? Kurik? What's that, Michael? I don't know what that is. I'm an immigrant. I don't know. I have to look it up. Oh, thank you. Oh, God. Oh, that Kurik. Oh my God, I'm standing like totally on. Right, Celtic girl? Yeah, it's true, Andrew. Herbs are so much better. I mean, they take a little bit longer to. I'm sorry that I'm itching myself here. My skin is so dry. It has to put the lotion on its skin later, because I took a bath and it was so cold and my skin is drying out. So I'm not diseased or something. Herbs take a little longer to work, right? So if you have some issues, you really need to drink the tea the whole day, depending on what tea, but it will work. It will really work. Oh, good, Shannon. Right, Hans? What would you be without the herbs and the quartz, right? So important. Herbless. Now you made me cough. I choked on my own spit. Thanks, Hans. Appreciate it. It cracks me up. I'm like all serious, right? Without the herbs. Oh, it's good pine needle tree, Anna. You would like it. It really clears your whole face. It's really nice. So next we have the elm tree. So the spirit of the plant, or the tree, it stands for communication and relationships, which of course works perfectly with Gebo. So the elm gives us confidence in our own strength and gives the soul balance. In the Central European culture, the elm is a symbol of protective powers. It is credited with the power to drive away evil spirits. The elven wood, that's what it's called as well, is a gateway between the human world and the nature spirits. So back in the day, these, those guards on cemeteries, they had all those little ones, that walking sticks that they had, and they were made out of elm tree to protect from the spirits of the dead, from the souls of the dead. So that goes back very far. So if you believe you can no longer cope with your task and have doubts about your own abilities. So yeah, once you really, really believe, you will have no doubts anymore, right? That's what it's saying. Like, you can do pretty much everything. And I'm saying pretty much everything. I'm not saying everything. Some things, yeah, might take a lot of will. So let's start slowly. For example, opening our eyes to what's going on. By the way, Hans, he has excellent videos, really nice. So you should check him out. Really interesting stuff, I have to say. So, so the elm invites you to linger, so to sit down and relax. So, but again, which is uh, why the elm works so nice with Gebo is also, this tree depends on us, right? In Germany, it's like, oh, almost extinct. So, and this why, like, what I'm getting through later, you can use the bark of the elm tree for certain things, but don't go around chopping bark from elm trees because they're really not around that much anymore. So, and that's why it depends on us. It depends on us taking care of them, right? We take care of the trees and we receive from the trees, not only the elm tree, but all the other trees. All the trees have messages and a certain gift they have for us, like I talked about the other trees before. So, because we must have to understand that we are not the only people here, that humans are not the only ones that need to receive love and respect. So everything on this, especially our planet, deserves that, and the trees and the animals. So keep that in mind once you start giving and realizing. So everything on this planet needs respect and love. So another little Edda story for the elm, which goes with my first little one. The Nordic song Edda from the 13th century tells that the first human pair were created with the help of three gods that I mentioned before. Um, So they were created by two trees. Ask and elm, embla, and ask stand for ash. Finally, three came from this flock, powerful and well disposed. Hastened to the house they found on the beach, having hardly any strength. Ask and embla, faithless. They did not have soul, reason they did not have, neither blood nor movement, nor good color. Soul gave Odin, reason gave Hönir, blood gave Lodur, and God and good color. That's just a little part. That is a big story, the creation of the Nordic way, how Earth was created, and the first two humans, and so on. But I just picked that little part because, again, it's about give and receive. Um, um, the germs are tiny. Irish blood. So also, right, Celtic Girl? Yeah, I mean, I love the Edda. And it's something you really need to read slowly, page by page, and read it again and again and again because of all the symbolic in there as well. So, and also with all the names, like I cannot speak them out for the life of it unless I listen to it online because it's like, yeah, old Norwegian and Icelandic and all, like, I'm just admitting it. I'm not pretending I'm like, hey, I can do it. No, I can't. I'm learning. So for physical help, this is what the elm can do for us. But again, don't go around chopping bark off the elm tree. Go and buy it, right? Because you should only use that from, yeah, I would say dead trees and not from the trees that are around. Like I said, because I mean, I only know in Germany, but they're very, very rare there. So, and they're protected as well. I mean, it doesn't matter with what herb. And even if you go out and pick herbs, only pick as much as you need. Don't be all like greedy and like wham, you know. Just take as much as you need and then say thank you, of course, right? So, where was I? For physical help. Again, that one is astringent too and anti-inflammatory. For gastritis, diarrhea goes well with heart's ease. For gout and slow healing wounds, what it does, it will pull together your tissue as a tincture on it. So it really helps bad healing wounds. It's really nice. And you can only use the bark. But again, yeah, make sure they're not protected or it's a brand new tree, or preferably buy it in a local herbal store. But that's just my suggestion. It's up to you, of course, right? I'm not the boss of you. So, and then last but not least, we have the owl, the Thylgia, the spirit animal. And this is the note I got about the owl. Again, if you connect with your Thylgia, with your spirit animal, the same. It might have a totally different message for you, so always listen carefully to it. If you get visions, look at them closely, right? For me, the owl sees things that I don't see. But in regards to Gebo, it's a different story. So the owl wants to invite you to also meet your dark side, this dark aspect of your ego, and to integrate them lovingly and mindfully. So which she says it's, yeah, of course, don't be scared. Don't brush it off as I don't want to go there. I don't want to see that ugly part. It's not ugly. It's part of you. It's what made you to what you are now. So, and it's up to you. Only you can decide if it's Shannon, you are my boss. Only you can decide if it's a positive or negative dark side, right? Me personally, I don't have a problem with my dark side. Absolutely not. Because for me, dark and light belongs together. That's my balance, the dark and the light. And it's, for me, it's there. But um, she invites you to dive in and balance them out, right? To balance the light and the dark. That's what the owl takes you. So, but in order to do that, you need to take a look at it first. Don't deny it. And it's nothing negative, it's part of you. And that's a picture, the whole picture. So the owl is a hunter, and as such, she does not hesitate when taking action. We know how they are, right? The owl challenges us to closely observe our inner world and not to fear the dark side in us. We can remove obstacles that burden us and rely in our inner inspiration. She is a good leader through all the dark times of your life, but also when it comes to pausing and contemplating for herself. The owl advises us to go on an expedition to our creative capacity and to follow our imagination. With clarity, attention, and alertness, she recognizes situation and strikes swiftly and silently. This force wants to share it with you so you can rid yourself of all the deceptions and blinding situations. Since she is an animal of the night and the moon, she is also associated with the feminine, the deep, and the unconscious. From the womb of femininity of the woman in and of herself, but also of the feminine side in each human being, including man, okay? We create something new and thus become the builder of our own reality. So, yeah, so dive, just take a look inside yourself, sort out what serves you, what doesn't serve you anymore. I've done that and I'm still doing it. I'm still releasing here and there. Shit comes up where I thought, like, what? Like, but it happens to me in form of dreams by now. So um, then I can deal with it. But yeah, I did a lot of that work too, where I really faced things that I did in the past that I'm not proud of, and things that were done to me that I didn't like. And by now I know it's all a principle of giving and receiving, right? Some might call it karma. I don't. For me, it's a giving and receiving. Um, and once you deal with it, you acknowledged, but also acknowledge that at this time when you did something, you were a different person than you are now. Because once you acknowledge, oh shit, I totally screwed that one up, then you know that you're a different person and you wouldn't do that again, right? So nothing wrong with that. And then let it go. I mean, it takes time, of course. I'm the one to talk, but um, you can let it go. Just acknowledge and then let it go, and don't feed it with, oh, it's karma, it's gonna follow me for the rest of my life. No, it won't. You have the control of it. So yeah. Amen. Hallelujah. And as I said, I'm still learning. I'm releasing. I'm screwing up things, I have thoughts and sometimes I say things that I'm not, in the heat of, I don't know, action, angry. whatever, but I'm trying to work on it. I mean, it doesn't mean that you have to take shit from people that are really nasty to you. I'm not saying receive it gratefully and say thank you. Thanks for treating me like an ass. I'm not saying that. So but I think you get my point. I mean, what I do, people that are not good for me, not good for me moving forward, I just cut ties with, and that's then it for me, you know. No hard feelings, no hate, no nothing. It just doesn't fit anymore. And I mean, I have been cut off out of people's life too, where it was like, why? I haven't done anything, but I accept it. I mean, yeah. So, but I guess you understand what I mean. So, wow. And now I blabbered like 1.5 hours. I hope I didn't bore you, especially not tonight, where for some reason I can't talk and read. And of course, I had to pick words that I cannot even talk. Great immigrant me. So, yeah, I hope you could deal with it. Scissor? Cut, 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 cut. Whose birthday? Whose birthday is it? Yeah, you got animals, right, Hans? Little ponies, cutie. Yeah, but bugs love me too, especially on a deck in the winter, or when I've been to Scotland once. They have those little mosquitoes, itsy bitsy, tiny ones. They love me. They love me. They love me so much they want to eat me. Like, and they sting. Ugh, they're really, really mean. What? Oh, Quartz's grandma. She would have been. Wow, yeah, happy birthday, Quartz. Grandma, that would have been 106. Whoa. Oh, wait, my grandma would have been now. Wait, 96, 96, 96, 97, 98, 2000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Mai 2018. Wow, my grandma would be 123 this year. Holy. Everybody turns stone old in my family. They really do. So, thanks, Andrew. Night, night. Oh, Edwin, yeah, now where I'm reading it, 1, 2, 3. Okay, everyone. Good night, Cynthia. Sleep well. Wow, huh? Our grandma would have turned old. So, yeah. Well, I hope you liked it and I made sense, even with me, um, as always, squirreling and not knowing how to pronounce certain words. And I swear, I always do. I always look up how to pronounce certain words and then I screw it up. Yeah, right, Hans? That's a thought that I have too. I mean, back then they used phone lines, and before that, who knows? And plus we complain that we're getting spied on. We always got spied on. Always. There were always possibilities that they knew how to spy on with some technology. Okay. Well, my dear friends, thank you so much for coming and listening to me. Was good to go live again. I missed you all. So next, what do I have next? I think next I have Bunyo. Um, I might record it. I'm not sure yet. I have to make my notes first. Depending on how much it is, then I will decide. But to write the notes like I did today takes me about a week. So I will decide. Eric, hi and good night. All right, you all. I love you all very much, and you have a good night or good day wherever you are. Annette is always given by control. All we really know is what Grandma told us. That's true, Hans. That's all we know. My grandpa never told me anything. Like, he was a very quiet man and he didn't want to talk about war. He didn't want to talk about anything. And he was not a happy man. He was a drinker out of sadness, frustration. So, yeah, I kind of connected with that. Okay, you guys, now I'm out. I'm doing it again, saying goodbye. 2 hours. So, well, it was good seeing you. Thank you all. And I see you soon, maybe in some other chats. And yeah, love you. Good night.